Most men assume that commanding a room requires an active performance, a rehearsed line, a specific outfit, or a deliberate show of dominance. But your body doesn't have an off switch. Even in what you consider dead space, waiting for a coffee or sitting in a chair, you are broadcasting high-density data on a frequency most people register subconsciously. To see how this works, we're going to freeze frame a 30-second scenario, a man walking into a cafe and sitting down. We'll dissect 9 physical signals that capture attention without a single word being spoken. Understanding this broadcast allows you to project a sense of presence that feels natural, simply because it's rooted in how the human brain is wired to perceive movement and stillness. The clock starts as our subject reaches his table and settles into his chair. Notice the fluid, unhurried way he moves. This is the first signal, physical ease. When a man moves without jerky adjustments or nervous overcorrections, it suggests he is entirely comfortable operating his own body. Then there is the way he inhabits space. While an anxious man might compress his frame, tucking his arms and curling his shoulders, our subject simply accepts his physical footprint. He doesn't force a power pose, he just refuses to shrink. By not fighting gravity or apologizing for the space he takes up, he establishes an immediate sense of belonging. He looks like he's exactly where he's supposed to be. As he places his wallet on the table, the tendons and muscles in his forearm shift. This is a mechanical reminder that the hands are tools designed for work and precision. Even in a mundane task, that visible tension signals a baseline of physical utility that we are hardwired to notice. This leads to the hands. The way fingers wrap around an object projects a sense of purpose. It's a display of structural competence. The hands aren't just moving, they are interacting with the world with intent. But the most significant data point comes after he sets the items down. While most people are caught in a loop of fidgeting or checking their phones, he simply rests his hands and leaves them still. This combination of visible physical capability followed by absolute stillness is rare. It communicates a lack of nervous energy and suggests he has no internal need for constant distraction. Now, our subject looks down at the menu. His face goes quiet and his brow tightens. This focused stare suggests he is engaged in something that requires his full attention, giving the impression that his time and thoughts have weight. Because he's in profile, we see signal 7, the jaw angle. This is a matter of shadow and light. The sharp line between the jawbone and the neck creates a distinct geometric shape that the human eye naturally tracks. At the hinge of that jaw is the masseter muscle. As he thinks or calculates, it might subtly flex. This flex only works when it's an unconscious byproduct of thought. If a man tries to fake it, the timing is off, and it registers as an unnatural pose rather than a sign of focus. When these elements of geometry and tension align, an observer doesn't just see a man reading, they see total absorption, the suggestion that whatever is happening behind his eyes is worth the stillness of his body. The waiter approaches from the side, interrupting that focus. Our subject turns his head slowly to acknowledge him. This deliberate, unhurried rotation is known as the 9th signal. Compare that to the startle response, the fast, jerky snap of the head common in people who are highly reactive to their surroundings. By maintaining his own pace despite the interruption, he demonstrates that he is operating on his own internal schedule, rather than being rattled by external stimuli. None of these 9 signals require a gym membership or a change in personality. They're simply the result of moving through a room with intent. Most people live on this jagged frequency, a constant baseline of low-level nervous energy and reactivity. Against that backdrop, a man who is physically settled stands out. His lack of nervous motion implies a sense of competence and safety that doesn't need shouting. The takeaway isn't to learn a new set of tricks. It's to stop rushing, stop apologizing with your posture, and let your body settle into the space it already occupies. Presence isn't something you perform. It's what remains when you stop feeling the urgent need to prove you're there.